Okay, continuing the 2-point perspective here. So I have a new handout here. It says 2-point perspective. And it's basically an add-on. If you understand the 1 point, you just have to add from here. So let's try to construct the cube in 2-point perspective. New papers. Establish the horizon line, right? Okay, always like this. All right, now 2-point perspective, what is the difference from 1-point perspective? You need to establish vanishing point, 2 of them, one in the right, one in the left, right? So this makes it 2-point perspective. I also recommend to have these two slightly further out for video purpose. I made it a little closer because you can see it. But a lot of time those two vanishing points are even out of the page or paintings and drawing because it looks more natural. If you have two vanishing points too close, the drawing looks a little bit too distorted. So it's better to have slightly further out, or sometimes you put like a piece of paper and make like a little wing, and you locate the vanishing point way out of the frame or the page. But for demonstration purpose, I'm gonna have it a little closer. Okay, now 2-point perspective box here, it's below the eye level. The difference is from 1-point perspective is that planes do not remain parallel anymore to a picture plane. Only the vertical, right? So the vertical edges remains parallel to your papers, the edge of the papers, like so. So I decided the length of the cube, and what you want to do is from corner to the corner, right? You go like this. So you have 2 flags going this way, and you decide the depth of your box. Remember, you can do this randomly in terms of the size of the cube. You can decide. So from corner to corner, from corner to the vanishing point, like so, right? And I will make it a little darker here, and remember, I'm gonna try to make it transparent so that you understand the structure of it. So these 2 lines meets, and these is the back of the plane here. So here's the 2-point perspective cube below the eye level. Okay. So you can apply these divisions from the 1-point perspective and 2-point perspective. It's essentially the same thing. You're applying the division and a distorted plane. So you can do the same thing, right? Okay, now this is the roofing. Oh, sorry, I should do the floor first. Okay, I'll do the floor. Floor of this 2-point perspective is slightly different. So what you want to do is, I'm just constructing the floor. So instead of drawing the entire cube, I'm just gonna draw the bottom portion of it. Okay, so this is the bottom portion of it, and this is exactly what it is here, but I just made it separately. Okay, and now you see how this looks slightly twisted almost. This is because I have vanishing point a little too close. How do you know if it's too close? This angle. This angle should be at least 90 degree. This seems slightly less than 90 degree, right? So if I could move the vanishing point slightly further out, then this will open up. It looks unnatural or even too distorted if this opening angle is less than 90 degree right here. So it should be more than 90 degree. But for sake of the explanation here, I'm just gonna continue this way. Now, it's slightly different than 1-point perspective because 1-point perspective, I had this front plane that I can divide, remember, right? But in 2-point perspective, planes recedes away from you, right? All the sides and tops go away from you. So this is gonna distort it. I cannot use it as a measurement, right? So the depth, I cannot use any measurement tool. So I just have to establish something that is as a width that is not distorted. And this, we call it measurement line. What's the rules? The line has to go through the points, closest point, reading point, right here. And this has to be parallel with the horizon line or the edge of the paper. Again, if this became like this, it doesn't work, okay? Parallel to the horizon line, and the line has to go through the points, the corner of the floor that you're about to divide, okay? Now, I cannot divide this one. There's a lot of students who just try to like measure this or like kind of guess. You don't want to do that. What you want to do is to establish the system. You use this measurement line here, right? I'm gonna divide into 4. So from here, I use the half-inch increments. So 0.1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going to divide this ends into 4 equal plane, the lengths, okay? The lengths here, I use the half-inch, but it doesn't matter. If you want to use 1 inch, it'll get longer. If you want to use a quarter, it gets shorter. It doesn't matter the width of this. It matters how many times you divide into it. Okay, so here it seems to me this is okay size for me. And the next step, the last increments of the measurement line and the back corner, you want to draw the straight line connecting. Remember, perspective, you have to connect 2 points at least, and then you get the third point. Now this diagonal line intersects with the horizon line. This is very important. This is the line that I want, okay? We call it DP. I think it's diagonal point. Okay, and from here, what you want to do is to draw the line towards the increments of the measurement line here. Here, I'm gonna draw the line, DP, to all the increments I created. There you go. Sorry, it's a little bit off. Now, you see the lines are connecting again, right? Intersection, intersection, intersections here, right? So now what I need to do is to draw the line from the increments to the left vanishing point. From here to the left vanishing point. For here to the left vanishing point, right? Great. You can do the same thing on this side to divide this one, but remember, you can always use the diagonal line, remember, connecting those two, and the line intersect, green and black, green and black, green and black, that intersect. So now I just have to connect these dots to the vanishing point like so, and I can continue dividing my floor and make the checkerboards like so. Okay, so that's it. Now you can do so. Very important, you must establish measurement line for 2-point perspective, because this recedes away from you, so it's distorted. You can't measure this because then it's receding away from you. So you have to establish the measurement line going through the leading point, closest point of the floor that you want to divide. This indicates how many times you want to divide this. If you want to do 5, make 5 increments. 6 increments, right? The width of the increments, it doesn't matter. Connect the last point to the back of the floor and extend all the way to the horizon line, and you get a diagonal point. Now this, depending on your setting, it's not always look like this. Sometimes it goes straight up, sometimes it goes this way, sometimes it goes way over here. So depending on where the size and how many you're dividing, the diagonal point may be located somewhere in here, but in my particular case it's up here. But in your drawing, this point might move around. Okay, all right.